It's a little new surprise edition. 12 pounds. Hey y'all, Amy here and welcome back to the farm. So today I am in the kitchen and I'm going to be making, pear butter, but I'm using an apple butter recipe and using pears instead of apples, which works just fine. Y'all, apple butter is one of my most favorite things. Okay, one of the most favorites. So I have the really hard, not ideal, that's the kind of pear trees that grow around here, and that's what I have. I have a whole bucket full of pears. So what I do is we pick them and then I let them sit for about a week, sometimes even more than that, because once they sit for a little while they get a little softer, and that's what I want to use, is them a little softer. So I'm going to peel these and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to make stovetop old-fashioned apple butter with pears. But I'm also going to show you about halfway through this, when we get to a stopping point where these are just going to be sitting and cooking on the stove for a little while, I'm going to show you something else that has nothing to do with food. Okay, it's a little new surprise addition to the farm. Now I'll show you that later. But first, y'all, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me peel an entire bucket of pears. This is going to take a while. So, with the magic of the YouTube, you're going to be right back. I'm going to go peel for like a couple hours, and then you're going to see it when it's ready. So, oh, just real quick before I go, what I'm using, I'm going to do a double batch, and I've got a food scale here, and I've got my bowl. I'm going to zero out on my scale, and then I'm going to do 8 pounds of pears. So, I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I have 12 pounds of pears in a big stock pot. 12 pounds. This is gonna be 3 batches worth. So I'm gonna attempt to do this all at one time. This is a big pot. So we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna cook it down with all the sugars and spices. Let me get this started on the stove and I'll show you what we're gonna mix in. I'm going to tell you everything that I'm going to add in the measurements that I'm adding for this much, because I tripled it, but in the description of the video I will add a section of everything you need for one batch, which is 4 pounds of apples or pears. So for this triple batch, every time I bang it, y'all shake, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of water. I have this on medium heat, by the way. I'm going to do 1.5 cups of sugar. I have a raw cane sugar. I get this from Azure Standard, in case you're wondering. I'm also going to do 1.5 cups of organic brown sugar. This I got from Costco. Okay. Then I'm going to do 3/4 cup of molasses. Okay. You're falling over there. Stay. Okay, I'm not the best at doing these cooking videos or these kitchen videos, y'all. It's not my strong point. All right, there's a little bit left in that. We're gonna pour that in there. Okay, so then we're going to do 3 teaspoons of lemon juice. 1, 2, 3. I'm using Brian loves this lemon juice and water. It's a 100% organic lemon juice. Got this from Costco. And we're gonna do 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we're gonna add our spices. We're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of these spices. So I'm gonna start with ground cloves. 1.5 teaspoons. And then we're gonna add cinnamon. Teaspoon. Can someone take the squeaky toy from the dog for a moment, please?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Levi. 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. And 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg. Okay. And then, okay, so the last thing you're supposed to add is 1.5 teaspoons of allspice. I don't have allspice today. What I do have is I have pumpkin pie spice. And I only have a little bit of it. So I was like, you know what? Pumpkin pie spice has allspice in it. And so I only have a little. So I'm just gonna go with the rest of what I have. We're gonna call that good. All right, so now we have to stir all this in. Dropping stuff on the floor. Okay, let's stir all this together. I can't stir this and hold you up here to see what I'm doing at the same time. So, I can do it. You're just gonna have to be over here and let me stir this. Okay.
I can hold it up there.
So what we're gonna do, that's okay, Lacey. Thank you anyway. It'll be all right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sit and simmer. Well, okay, first we're gonna bring it to a boil on medium heat. I won't know if it's boiling or not because see, this pot is large. So I don't know. But we're going to attempt to bring it to a boil. And then I'm gonna turn the heat up just a smidgen. I have it on medium. I think I'm gonna do it medium high. It smells amazing. It smells like Christmas. There's a vent above my head, and that's why I'm bent down under here like this. And I'm doing this on my back burner instead of my front burner because my front burner is where I need to have my canner because I can't lift jars up and out of it underneath this vent. I need it out here to the side. There's a reason. There's a reason for the madness. Okay, so we're kind of just gonna let this cook down a little. I'm all sticky now. Got some on my hands. We're gonna put a lid on this. We're gonna let this sit on medium high heat. And we're gonna let this cook down for like a few minutes. I'm gonna give a few minutes to bring to a boil, which I can't really tell. Excuse you, Lacey. And then I'm gonna turn it to medium heat and I'm gonna put the lid on it. And this is gonna cook down for like an hour. And it says an hour. So that's for one batch. This is triple batch, so it's probably gonna take longer than that. So while it's doing that, I have my, can you see this over here? Can you see my thing? I'm also making muscadine grape jelly. So I'm doing my muscadine juice right now. I've made a video on that before, so if you want to see how I do that, I will attempt to link it in the description below. Get Brian to help me figure out how to do that. It sounds like it's boiling. I hear a blah, blah, blah sound. I can't tell. But anyway, we're gonna put a lid on this. We're gonna let this cook down. That's what we're gonna do. while the pears are at a stopping point, because it's going to be cooking down for a while, I'm going to show y'all real quick what I said I was going to show you. So the night before last, late in the evening, one of my sisters stopped by, and she stopped by to drop off something. Didn't know that this was happening, and I wasn't prepared, but I took it anyway. Okay, y'all, she rescued something, and she wasn't able to keep it, so she brought it here. Jack loves it. Oh my word, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Jack, do you love her? Jack wants to just smell her. He said, I love her and I love her. This is a little girl. Okay, Jack, here, Abby, you hold Jack back for a second. He's a little too rough to play with a kitten. He loves her, and he's not mean at all, but he's too rough with her. So we think she's probably about 4 or 5 weeks old. Mama abandoned. It was an indoor cat that had her, and as an indoor cat, she didn't have any of the instincts, and she didn't take care of the baby, and she just didn't want anything to do with the baby. She was just a fancy indoor cat that had gotten out one time, and boom. So Mama wouldn't take her, and so the lady needed somewhere for her to go, and my sister got her and brought her here. So look at that face. Oh my gosh. Could you say no to that face? I mean, really. Oh. So y'all, this is Faye. The name means fairy. Isn't that adorable? This is my little Faye. Look at her little face. Oh my goodness. So she's underweight, but y'all, she's doing so much better in just a day and a half. So much better. I'm doing a kitten feed, but also goat's milk. And Levi, are you having trouble? Levi's trying to hold Jack back for me. But y'all, this is her. This is Faye. She's not a barn cat. This is, I already have one inside cat. Well, it's not mine, it's Abby's. Abby has Jasmine. And so this is gonna join her in the house. Okay, hold on, little one. I know, baby. It's her supper time. She needs some food. Once the pears got soft, it took about an hour, right about an hour. You take it off the heat, and I let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then, as you saw, I used an immersion blender, and I blended it all up. So because I have several batches of the pear butter, I put it back on the heat because I need it to stay warm. Otherwise, you'd leave it off the heat and you do the whole one batch, and you go ahead and jar it up for the canner. But I have multiple batches, so I put it back on low heat, and I'm gonna jar it up now. So I've got, hold on. Put that over there. Okay, so I've got 7 jars. That's what my water bath canner holds. And I've got them sitting in the hot water. I have a ladle here. I have my funnel, my measure, my lids, all that. We're gonna do one, and then I'll quickly do the rest. I have my hot, sterile jar. Okay. I don't know if you can see it good. Funnel. And I'm going to ladle in my pear butter. You want to do it to within a 1/2 inch of the lid. You want a 1/2 inch headspace. So, use my little tool here. second notch is 1/2 inch. Fill it to that. Just a little bit more. Like so. Okay. I always bang it just a little. You want to make sure there's no air pockets in it whatsoever. And when you have a sauce or something like this, you're not likely to have air pockets. But instead of, that's what this is for. This is to jab down in it to release any air. But because it's just a sauce, I just bang it a couple of times to let it settle. And then I put on a new lid. I'm going to put it in the water bath can. And these are going to process for 20 minutes on a medium-high heat.
Is that you?
Hello. Hey.
What are you?
Alright, y'all, so now I'm just going to make the rest. Thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. And until next time, keep on the sunny side.